Good morning, good evening, Fibrifians, crafters, and creatives. It's so good to see you all in the chat. Nice and early. I just get my chair comfy. I was running around making cuppers. But yes, I've been watching the chat. A lot's happening. Good morning to Kathy. It's great to see you. Thanks so much for jumping in nice and early. Freaky says hello, hoping nobody is buried in snow. Kind of hoping the same. For those of you that are dealing with extreme cold and icky weather, whether it's extreme cold or extreme heat, all I can say is look after yourself and be so careful. Just be careful, everybody. Good morning, Knitspin Girls Creations. It is great to see you. Oh, what's this one? Nope, it won't scream. I'm melting. I'm melting. No, it won't. It won't. Kathy says that she got about 2 inches in the last 2 days, expecting more than 7 inches of snow in the next 7 days, in the next few days. Sorry. And I did mention the snow because, we measure our rain in the same way. So, and we're having some wet weather. Let us look. I've just realized that my screen is just a little bit too far away and I'm struggling to read it. Let's have a look here. There we go. All right. So Freaky said, hello, hostess. Hello. I hope you can hear and you can see. I was tweaking and playing with some things. I've changed how the audio is routing. So fingers are crossed it's all working and you can hear and you can see and everything is good here. I'm just going to stop talking for just 1 second. Just double checking because I can hear my husband. So I was just double checking you guys couldn't, but the mic didn't seem to pick him up. So that is good. That is good. Leslie, it's so good to see you in the chat. It's been a long time. Now, we are down a mod today, everybody, and I wanted to point this out particularly. Our mod, Leanne, is feeling extremely poorly. So if you can all have Leanne in your thoughts today, that would be amazing. She's not great. We all get sick sometimes, but I think that it's just been one too many things on top of Leanne. So I really, I not to, I don't want to embarrass her or anything like that, but I really do miss her in the chat. And like I do when I miss regular names, but Leanne is a special friend and I am thinking about her today and I'd love for you guys to send some positive juju her way as well. That would be amazing. Let us look. Oh, you can hear until your sound card dies. That's great. Sal says can hear and see. That is awesome. Yeah, Leanne is not great. Yeah. So on that note, it is a witchcraft stream. So let's roll some dice and decide which craft we're going to be working on. So let's actually, I might just also just double check. I have. I'm like, have I muted my phone? Don't know. So I'll just double check. Okay, so let me jump into our top-down shot here. We have some dice. So, actually, we need the vote screen. Chantel, vote. No, that's not it. There we go, voting, and is that the one we want? Yeah, there we go. This is actually the one we want. All right. Okay, I'll just go to 19 different screens before we get to the one we want. All right, so let us start with a dice roll for the project for today. Hopefully, I've realized I've got just this tiny little square that'll show up. So I'm like, hey, where have I got to roll into? Oh, all right, it's a number 2. So we're going to be working on the Hobbii top. We started with the Hobbii top last week as well, didn't we? So there we go. That's it. But let's roll our 3 dice for our mosaic blanket. So let's have a look here. We have a 2, a 3, and a 5. So let me just tell you what. Last week I took a photo of the colors. I tell you what, it made it so much easier for me. So let me just do that again. There we go. Alrighty. So let us start with The green top. Which bag is the green top? The green top is in the green Margecraft bag. So look, we're getting there. We are getting there. I did a try on last week. I've just, you know when you've got to just have to pull it out through the handle like a donkey. Alrighty. But I did do a try on. Needs a bit more length. Needs a bit more length. So let's have a look in here. So today we're going to be working on this project. I'm just thinking, do I have an updated photo on Ravelry? I don't think I do. But it is the, what's it called? I can't even remember what the pattern's called. Oh my Lord. It is. Let me just find that out because I can't remember what it's called. I've been working on so many projects. It is under Knit Companion. The Rocket Tee. There we go. That's the one. Rocket Tee and DK from Tanis Fiber Arts. I'm such a donkey, honestly. I had like rocket in my brain and I'm like, no, that can't be right. That can't be right. It is right. Thank you, Kelly, for knowing the pattern that I'm working on better than me. And Sal as well. Thank you. You guys are legends. Absolute legends. I might just bring that over a little more. Okay. So we got the craft going. We're going. We're moving. How are you guys all doing? What are you working on? Let me know in the chat. Talia is in the chat. Hey, Talia, good to see you. It's nice to see you as well, Samantha. Kelly has dropped in the dice rolls for this week. I'm all up to date with the blanket, believe it or not. They do have some cheat sheets. Yeah, they do. So, but I don't know if that's in it. I think they just know that one. I don't think that one's on the cheat sheet. I mean, it could be. They may have adapted the cheat sheets, but I'm very happy that they are on it because my brain was just like, meh. And do you know why my brain's a little bit like, woohoo? It's because I've only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. So let us work on remedying this with another coffee. I am a beverage goblin in the full form today. I do have fresh hot coffee and I have tea and I have water. Talia's working on eating some breakfast. That is good, Talia. Game Widows is picking up stitches and separating Christmas. Does it say beetle socks? Because, like I said before, the screen's a little further away than I would prefer it. And I'm just like, does that actually say beetle socks? Or am I like imagining it? I'm just gonna do something here. No, look, I can't push it to the other side. I'm as pushed to this side as I can. I need to move and I don't want to move. I'm comfy here. So half a screen it is. Okay. I'm working on the field sweater by Camellia Vad. Excellent. There's a post in the fun zone if you want to share photos of what you're working on. There's also a post over on the Discord server. I popped that in this morning. See, I'm trying to get better and remember to do the things. I, however, did not post the post in the fun zone. I'm assuming that was Kelly or Sally. Artug's finally shaping the crown on the beanie I've been making for way too long. Yeah, I kind of feel that way about a few of my projects. Like, really? This is where I'm up to? Like, seriously? Like, yeah. So last week was the first week of the Attic 24 Cal for 2024. If you guys want to see my progress, I've got it behind me if you want to see that. So let me know in the chat. And then let's have a looking. Oh, Kelly, excellent point. If you are enjoying this stream, if this is something that you are enjoying and you like sitting back and listening to people chat about randomy things as well as, craft, hit the thumbs up. Share it out with some crafting friends. So, get it out there. Avoiding knitting the second sleeve on my Ollie cardi by knitting socks instead. Second sleeve syndrome is real. I mean, isn't it just like I'm beginning to think it's like a second anything because like for some people it's second socks, it's second sleeves. I think that like socks that I do two at a time, I think I would like to do my sleeves two at a time if at all possible. So they're the same length because, it's real. Sometimes you mess things up and it could be a smidgy dash shorter. And the shaping matches. Like, we're not going to go into why I like to do this. I have made some really hinky sleeves. I made a sweater where I had to make 5 sleeves because I just kept like screwing up the sleeves, like the worst. Let's hear. Oh, Christmas beetles. Okay, all right. It took me a second. It took me a second. Thank you. Because I was like, you did write beetle, right? But yes, I love Christmas. I mean, I don't like it when Christmas beetles fly near me, but I do love Christmas beetles. Kelly's too quick for you nowadays. um, oh, it's because it's okay. Sally, don't get used to it. It's because Kelly's on holidays. Oh, you want to see the Attic 24? Okay, I'll grab that in a second. Dabbling with the Tunisian, too tired to work on important projects. Yeah, sometimes you just got to make a call, right? You just got to decide. Same length is a must. Also, if you make a mistake on one, you'll make that. Well, that's true. You will make the mistake on both, but at least they'll match. Kelly also says that she likes to do two at a time, everything while she can. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. That's the thing. That's how I do it. I make them on a long circular and do two at a time. I don't seem to have the problem with socks, just sleeves, even knitting the second. Question: what kind of fiber is this yarn? Cotton, linen, or acrylic? Are you talking about this yarn here that I'm using? Or are you talking about a different yarn? Just to double check. But so while you decide that, I'm just going to reach over and grab the Attic 24 project. Okay. So it is, that's folded in half, like, that's folded in half. But I'm not finished the first clue because there's a lot of rows. There's still, how many more colors have I got? I've got 3 more colors to add on for this week's clue. Then I need to weave in the ends and then I get another clue tomorrow night. So fingers crossed. I did start it a little later in the week than I would have liked, honestly. So, but I'm very much liking these colors. Now, I've gone with the Yarnsmiths Create version rather than the Stylecraft Special DK, which, if you've been around here before, you know that's not my favorite. Don't like how it feels. I'm really liking how the Stylecraft DK feels, honestly. Oh, hello, Macy Furt. So it is different. It's still acrylic. It's still inexpensive. It's just got a different feel to it. It just feels softer. And for me, the softness is a factor. And I was really happy that the designer supplied yarn lists for both, and I could buy this as a kit as well. So it made it really easy to try a different yarn. Similar money. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but it was similar money. And so I was like, I'll give it a try. I was just going to suck it up. And actually, do you know what? I'm going to be honest. If there wasn't another yarn option, I wasn't going to make this year's cowl because after last year and working with the special DK for an entire blanket, I was over it. I did not want to use the special DK. So if it was going to be in special DK only, then I was out. So loving that there is options now. I know a lot of people love the special DK, and we've talked about this before. Designers love it because there's just a huge array of colors, which I think is fantastic. But I don't like how it feels. I'm the same with Red Heart Super Saver. Red Heart Super Saver, is that the one? I don't like how it feels. To me, it feels like knitting with cardboard or crocheting with cardboard, and I don't like it. So luckily for all of us, there's a myriad of options for everybody. Some people love Stylecraft, some people love Red Heart Super Saver, and that is okay. I personally don't. So I try other things. So I would highly recommend you give this one a try next time you're ordering from Wool Warehouse. This is their in-house brand, and see how it goes. Anyway, that is where I'm up to with the project. It is a nice mindless one to work on at the end of a day. Let me tell you that right now, when I've got so many projects that require my brain to function hard. This one has been a really nice, just like, which color have I got to work with? So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I'm not going to enjoy weaving in all these ends. That's one thing I love about the mosaic blankets is no end weaving in. Okay. Alrighty. So this yarn, now we did realize I had it with me at a craft thing. And one of the ladies who saw it had only seen it on camera. The camera doesn't show how sparkly this is. It just doesn't. I'm going to see if I can grab a photo to pop it on the socials. I don't know if, hang on, come on, camera. I don't think even, I really don't, I'll grab that. Let me just, there's a big sparkly section right there. There we go. I'll grab some photos. I'll try and put them on socials a bit later on. But these sparkle bits are so sparkly. They're super sparkly. It's very cute. But it is predominantly cotton that is, hang on, it's been stitched into a little tube. So it's super lightweight for a DK yarn. And it goes through, like, sometimes it's pure all cotton, like this bit here, where it's just about all cotton. And then there's other spots where it's got a bit of sparkly for a while. But it's like a knitted tube, and it makes it light but still cotton. So it's predominantly cotton. It's got some other bits and bobs in it, but it's like over 80% cotton. I think someone actually put in the percentages in the chat. Let me scroll. It was available in a few colors. I can tell you it was very hard to choose. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Kelly popped it in. So it's 87, so it's nearly 90% cotton, right? So it's like a lot of cotton, a little bit of nylon, a little bit of metallic. I'm loving working with it. I would definitely get this yarn again. I managed to grab it in a sale. So I think I got, it was a 10 pack of 50-gram balls for it was around the $25 US mark. Because Hobbie's in US dollars, which for a really beautiful yarn like this, I don't think that's expensive. I mean, for a garment yarn, like if it was sweater yarn, not sweater, if it was like blanket yarn, I'd be like, oh, 500 grams for $50 Australian, 45 plus, post, but no, even then I'm still like, you know what, I'd buy it. The panettone is beautiful. The shimmer is so pretty and yet still soft. Yeah, and that was the other thing I was concerned at. I was concerned that it was going to be too scratchy for my delicate skin. It seems to be good. It seems to be good. Options are good. I agree. I love options. Options are great. Sal's not a fan of the Super Saver either. Yep, I think it's very scratchy. And people are like, oh, just wash it a few times. Dude, I've got to work with it to make a blanket. So, sometimes that's just too much for me. The yarn for this top is called Hobbii Panettone. Do I have a ball with a band? I do. There we go. It's the Hobbii Panettone. It comes in an array of colors. I've got color number 19. I don't think that's actually got a color name. I just think, it's Hobbii, so go with the color numbers. But I love it. I love working with it. It's super lightweight. Let me look here. I'm just catching up with the chat, everyone. No good me buying a kit as I dropped down to a 3.5 mil hook and my gauge is still too big. I dropped down to, like, for this particular kit, I dropped it down to 4 mil. And I managed to get nearly gauge. It was a little off, but according to the designer, so for the gauge swatch, it was like 18 centimeters was right, and I got 19. And then in her notes below, she was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you get 17 or 19, it's fine." And having done one of her kits before, or a couple of her kits before now, she actually allows a lot of extra. Like, I was so worried with my fireside cowl that I just kept swatching until I got it right. And then I had so much left over of so many colors, I was actually able to put on like another, I think it was like another full 4 rounds on the outside border to use up some of the yarn. And I still had yarn left over. So very generous with the meterage in the kits. So yeah. Weave them in as you go. Every time you finish color, weave those ends in. Have you learn nothing? No, what I do with these cowls is I do a section and then sit down and weave all the ends in together. And I leave the last one so I remember which end to start on, because I've done that before. Whoops. More than once. More than once. Let's have a look here. Can you get the same yarn without support? I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it's not there. I'm always surprised. I've been starting to deep dive over on the Hobbii website, because like while I do love the Cotton Kings and the Sultan cakes and stuff like that, I wanted to see what else they had. So I've been buying some other bits and bobs. So I think last week I showed you the purple and the teal that I'd bought, but I did dig out the black linen. So I'll grab that. The camera's not real. It's black and it's linen-y. It's very fine. Let me just grab a couple of strands. I think there's like 3, 4 strands there. 4 strands. And this is their 37% viscose, 34% linen, 29% cotton, 50 grams is 215 meters. And I just thought, I'll give it a try. Like, it's another one from that you can buy at Hobbii, so worth a try. So now I've got like quite a selection of linen or cotton blends or cotton silk blends to make some tops out of, because 2024 is the year of the top for me. Last year I started off with 2 to kind of get into the groove of it and to feel confident with it. Then I found this Rocket TDK, which I'm turning into a t-shirt. I'm not making the full sleeves on this. It will be a t-shirt. So that, I've got some lovely, because like this is the thing, right? I'm a crafter who never wears any of my handmaids. I make something and I give it away. Why? Because I live in Queensland where it is subtropical and humid. It's so humid. So I tend not to wear my makes. So because I don't need sweaters, I don't need hats, I don't need scarves. Very often a little hat or a little cowl is nice when it's a bit cold, but for the most part, don't need them. And so I've just found I was making less and less and less, and then I was like, "Oh, such and such could use this," so I'd make something, and I'd love making it. And then this year, oh no, last year, because last year was 2023. Last year, Bianca, who is sometimes in the chat, I'm not sure if she's here today. I met Bianca, and Bianca wears something handmade every single time I see her. And she very often wears these beautiful cotton knit tops that she makes. And I was inspired. And then between Bianca and a few other people in a little craft group that I'm a member of, a lot of people are making the ranunculus. So I jumped on the ranunculus bandwagon as well, made a couple of those, and it's built my confidence a little bit with making garments for myself. So, this is going to be, I think this is the first non-ranunculus top. So we're going to see how it goes. This is also a test, but so far as I've been trying it on, I am so happy with the fit. Honestly, so happy with the fit. And I think what I'm learning is I like to make something that's top down that I can try on as I go. So top down made in the circular. So maybe in the circular. So I can try it on as I go. So I can make sure the sleeves fit because that's the biggest thing for me. I've got disproportionately large arms for my body, which means quite often I end up having to buy t-shirts and things like that that are nearly 2 to 3 sizes too big just so my arms fit. And then everything else is a bit gapey and a bit open, which is not my favorite. I'm just like, now I'm like conscious. And so being able to make it so that the body fits and the arms fit. So slowly building confidence to actually make things that fit me. If you take away the sparkle, you get rid of the magic. Absolutely. Just realized there are 2 here with creations in their names. Yeah. It's because we're creatives. So, and we create things. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. This is a affiliate link for Hobbii for me. So, if you use this, excuse me, if you use this link, I will be paid a commission at no additional cost to you. So please feel free, to save this link anytime you're thinking about buying Hobbii yarn. To just send a little kickback my way. I started using Hobbii yarns before I got the affiliate, so I don't use Hobbii because I have an affiliate. Does that make any sense? I use it because I love it, and then having the affiliate or finding the affiliate later was a bonus. Let me look here. Yeah, it's been ages since I've seen your name in the chat, Rebecca. It's so good to see you back. I hope everything's going okay. You're still getting 21. Oh my gosh. I honestly think that'd be fine. I don't think you would run out. An extra, it's an extra 3 centimeters. So 1 extra repeat. I think you'd be fine. But I also think you could totally make it with scraps. I'm just saying that right now. I don't need to buy the kit because I honestly think you could just make it with yarn you have. Because it is just stripes. It's just stripes. It's her standard thing. She comes up with a different pattern, but it's just a variation on the stripes. I use Red Heart Super Saver. It's not as soft as others. However, after using and washing and using softener, it nicely soft. I can't use softeners. So if it needs a softener, I'm out. I'm sorry. I can't use anything perfumed or anything like that. And softeners in Australia, at least, I don't know if it's the same worldwide, but softeners coat the inside of your washing machine and they actually coat the garments so that they're actually no longer fire retardant. So if you use a softener on your wool, it actually diminishes the natural fire retardedness of wool. And on children's clothing in Australia, which are all fire retardant, so children are less likely to hurt themselves, it actually coats the fire retardant with a flammable thing. So, I'm actually not that sad that I can't use fabric softener. I use vinegar instead. So just a little, a little big, like a little glug, like glug. And when you wash it, you can't smell it. It's not like you're like, now I smell like vinegar. Once it goes through the washing machine, you can't smell it. And also the vinegar actually cleans the washing machine as well. So, but yeah, I can't use fabric softeners, unfortunately. Let me look here. Sally says, I'm looking for a yarn for a sweater that's very light and not superwash that I can wear during the summer when I feel cold, but not overheating myself, if that makes sense. Honestly, if you can find one of these chain plied yarns, so one of these, see this construction, come on. Can you focus on this? Come on, it's not gonna do it. I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna do this. So there you go. So you can see that. So one of those kinds of yarn constructions. Sorry, my hand is shaking. I can't help that. Um, it makes it so super lightweight. Honestly, you get the bulkiness of the 8-ply, but I think that if it was just standard spun, it'd be a 4-ply. Like, I think that's the weight of the cotton. It's so I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Cotton can get heavy. Cotton, like pure cotton, can get quite heavy, which is a problem. I will say that cotton that I use, that organic cotton that I used for my ranunculus, admittedly, it was a ranunculus, so they use a lot less yarn for some reason because it's the ranunculus magic. So that's a really nice lightweight top for me. I don't have long sleeves on it. I'm just saying, I do have short sleeves on it. So yeah, linen yarn is one of these ones, and this is why I'm a bit torn with linen, right? It's one of these ones that's hard on your hands and it softens in the wash. It actually softens with wear. So but so it doesn't need it actually definitely does not need fabric softener. It just needs washing and wearing. It's just the nature of linen. It gets softer as you wear it more. Let me have a look here. I'm doing the field sweater in the Cartier 56% cotton, 22% linen and viscose. Doing it in the short sleeve. How are you finding it? I mean, I love the Cartier brand of yarns, but I have actually never used them to like I've just patted them and bought like one ball to make a thing, and which I loved. But yeah, oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, Rebecca. I'm very sorry to hear that. I've done a couple of Attic 24 blankets. I usually have almost enough yarn left over for another half a blanket. Yeah, I was shocked, honestly. I was like, okay, so you got to get the gauge, otherwise you're never going to have enough yarn for the blanket. And then you get to the end where you totally did gauge the whole project, because that's the other thing, just because you get gauge at the start. um, so you totally got gauge all the way through to the end, and end up with so much yarn left over. So I don't think it's going to matter too much, or at least for these stripe blankets, I don't think it's going to matter all that much that that your gauge is a little large. So yeah, I can't guarantee it though, but I can't imagine that it would be like, I'm thinking it's like, what is it? It's an extra, like if you so it's an extra 3 centimeters, so it's an extra repeat of the shells. So I can't imagine that the extra repeat of the shells, say 6 times per color, I'm just guessing, but say 6 or 8 times per color is gonna make the difference on a ball of yarn. I really don't think it is. But yeah. Anyway, so there's no Caffeinated Crafters on tonight, just as an FYI. It is the second Thursday of the month, so there is none things. We also have the productivity screen will be not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I just reminded me I need to get that into my family calendar so they know I'm not available. So that will be happening. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on in my productivity stream. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some ends to weave in, but that's not this weekend. That's next weekend. So yeah, I'm just been working on some projects outside of the public eye of what I can talk about, but getting those sorted and done, which is great fun. We've been really trying hard to really have a good time over in the Discord server. So if you are not a member of the Fiberific Discord server, go and jump in, have a look. We've got we've got whole sections on your favorite books. So there's people talking about all different types of books that they're reading, the projects that they're working on, where anyone can make like their own thread of their project. So you can put your own progress shots in and people can be super encouraging and kind with their comments or help you if you're stuck. There's just so much fun stuff happening over there. There will be sometime this month, I need to sit down with a calendar and work out the date, But for those that are channel members, there's going to be a special channel member only chat over there where it's like a Zoom call. It's not quite a Zoom call, but it's like a Zoom call, but it's within Discord. So it's a two-way conversation then. It's not just me doing all the talking and you listening. It's a backwards and forwards. So you can either be on camera as well, or you can just have your microphone on your phone open even and just chat that way. Or you can just sit and listen if that's what you like to do. So that will be coming up as well. That'll be about an hour long chat happening over there. Obviously, we'll wait and see how it goes. It may not last that long if I'm there by myself. But if you guys join in, it could be longer. There we go. And Kelly has a link. It says Kelly is saying here, if you are having a problem joining Discord, please put a comment over in the fun zone so that we can help you get in. So yeah, it is. We definitely want everyone to be able to, and look, I know that it is one of these things where it's like, okay, so it's a new thing, and I get that, but we've all done new things before. We can all do this. We're all very capable people. You're here on YouTube, logged in, chatting. I wonder how many years ago it would have been before you could do that before. So I know for some of you, we had to run through how so you could chat. So, it's just a new thing that you could actually get some great enjoyment out of. So, yeah. I'm just going to check something here. Command C. I'm just going to translate something. Have a look here. Oh, good morning. It's good to see you. So I did Google Translate the Japanese comment, so it's all good. It's just saying good morning. Good morning. I don't know how to say good morning in Japanese. It says ohayo, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I have no idea. I can't speak Japanese at all. So thank you for jumping in. I'm just going to go back. There's another comment. So, mods, one of the things that I like to do as a moderator, because sometimes bad people are bad, is I like to Google Translate comments into English just to double check. Oh no, it's okay. It's all right. So just to double check, because I have had in some other chats, not this chat, but in some other chats, the sneaky sneakers have come in and used, and we actually think they're using Google Translate to put it from English into another language and then putting that in the chat, because it's like it's broken. But yes, it's great to see you, and thank you so much for joining. Let's have a look here. The Kacha concept as a slubby yarn, and I did not like how it knitted up on its own. So I'm pairing it with Fiberscape Scrumptious. I've used Kacha cotton before, which was lovely. I've used the cotton. So yeah. It is definitely a fun one. Alrighty. Let me just jump back over here. Hide that. I just need to. There we go. All right. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate you popping the translations into the chat. That's awesome. Now, this is the other thing. This is a witchcraft chat, a witchcraft. So if you are bored, if you are tired of watching me knit this green top, you have options. There are ways for you to change the project. So if you are a channel member, you could use one of your channel membership comments. So if you click down at the super chat, it will let you know if you have a free member comment or member chat that you could use, and that can make me re-roll. If you and just make sure that if you do decide to use that, please write re-roll in, because you get an option to add in a comment. So please write re-roll, because sometimes people just use their member chat because they can. They don't want the re-roll, but let me know if you want the re-roll. And the other option is, if you are not a channel member, to go in and you can super chat. So down in the description below, it explains it probably clearer than what I'm about to. So basically, if you super chat a yellow, then it will make a reroll happen. And if you super chat orange or above, you actually get to choose which project I work on. So I bring up the list on screen and you get to choose which one you want. So Holly wants a reroll. Okay, Holly. I've just got I'm nearly at a marker. I'm just going to get to the marker and then I'll do your reroll. I mean, technically, do I need to get to the marker? Probably not. Let's not. Let's just do the reroll. Okay, let me just put this in the bag. No need to go through the handle again. There we go. In the bag. Okay, Holly wants a reroll. So let me bring up that one there. There we go. That is our choices. Alrighty. We have a 6 Crochet Abbies waffle blanket. She's going to be very, very happened. Happened? Happy. She's going to be very happy. Oh, Kelly, thank you. Thank you for that, and thank you for commenting as well. All right, so number 6. Crochet on Abby's waffle blanket. She's going to be a happy girl. She's going to come home from work and see me actually working on her blanket. She'll be shocked. She'll be surprised. There we go. Let me I'll just do the first stitch and then put that marker back in. So, alrighty, marker goes back in so we know where we're starting. Come on, little fingers working. Alrighty. Okay, Abby's waffle blanket. It's getting look, it's growing. It's growing. I'd say we're about halfway through the yarn that I have. So, you know, it's got some length to it. It's definitely getting on. Oh, I'll just move back to the normal screen. It's definitely hang on, look, I'm just gonna do this so that you guys can just see like already. Okay. There we go. Is that the bottom? Can we see the bottom? Oh yeah, there we go. Just double checking. Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Abby will be happy. Yeah, she will. Legit. So we're either just we're either just on the middle or just past the middle. I can't quite remember where I'm up to with the number of yarn balls I've got, but we're around that middle section somewhere. I did do some work on it the other earlier last week or the week before. Might have been the week before. Oops, botched that stitch. Let's try again. It's it's not nearly as tall as me. It's about half my height, I think. I think it's about half my height, but it is looking good, isn't it? I'm very happy. She should have her birthday's in April, so let's aim for having it finished by her birthday. It's very heavy. I will say that. It's definitely like a weighted blanket situation. It's very, very heavy. Let me just have some more coffee here. Okay. I couldn't even tell you how many. No, because the yarn's out in the lounge room. Because normally how I'm working out how many balls I've used is by working out how many are left. Because I think I had 20. 20 to start with. Yay! Gamer Widows socks are separated. Time to do the toes. Bring it, Gamer Widows. I'm still working on my knee-high socks, so they're coming along. And all the other projects are slowly moving forward, which, is encouraging as well that everything's getting a little bit of love. And I find that very encouraging. The bunny mink I had to put aside. It was just too fluffy for me. I just needed it's a bit too warm to be working with such a fluffy, fluffy yarn. So I did remove it from our list. It's not quite finished yet. Probably needs maybe half a dozen more rounds put onto it. and then a bind off. But it was just I was trying to work on it, and I was just my hands were getting sweaty, and I wasn't enjoying it while working in the heat. So I thought I might just wait until it cools down a little, or we have a cool day and work on that. One of the advantages with working on blankets at the desk is I don't actually have to worry about them being on me. I'm sort of sitting here thinking, oh gosh, it's getting warm. Why is it getting warm? I haven't put the fan on, so I'm going to put the fan on. Hang on a second. Hello, fan. I thought I put you on, but I didn't. There we go. We have the fan. So last week, the fan wasn't working properly. It was driving me insane. It was being very loud and it was doing evil things, and I couldn't get it to the speed that I liked, and it was making me angry. Turns out that I remember before the stream, I leant across it to do something and it made a beep. What I didn't realize is I changed the fan's mode. And in doing so, none of my regular options were available, and it was trying to do something hinky. I have no idea what it was trying to do. Felt like it was trying to take off, honestly. But now we have the fan back to normal. I fixed it by pressing a button and putting it back into its normal mode. Very technical. Aspen May, great to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. I've been putting off starting, I'm putting off starting this winter weight blanket, and it's been too hot. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? But the catch is the customer probably wants it in time for winter, and if you wait too long, then it'll be too hot for them to actually use it. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Knit Spinker, a fan can have modes. Oh, I've got it's one of those tower fans. I picked it up from Bunnings. It's got a little remote control, and it can oscillate, which most fans can do. Change the speeds from 1 to 8, oscillate. But then there's these modes, which I'd never I should probably get the book out and look at what the modes are. But I think it's like to make it like it changes the speed of the breeze and things like that, so it feels a bit more natural. Because like when you're sitting outside, the breeze isn't a constant like number 4 breeze. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not constant. It changes and ebbs and flows. So I think that's what it was doing, which was really annoying because I was just hot and I just needed the air to blow. So yeah. Where's all the thumbs up? I have noticed. So for those of you that are around YouTube a fair bit, YouTube are playing a little bit with the user interface. And I've noticed that sometimes it looks like the thumbs up is freezing. So if you think like, oh gosh, it looks like there's only a couple of thumbs ups, just give your screen a little refresh first, just because I was in a live chat that had over 200 people in it and they were like 20 thumbs up. And I'm like, oh man, like seriously, everybody, are you not enjoying this? Like give this a thumbs up. And someone else was like, oh, I can see that there's like 150 thumbs ups. And I had to, embarrassed, had to do a refresh. There it was, 180 thumbs up. So yeah. It was stuck at 14. Yeah, there you go. Did the refresh work? If only we could select a breeze number outside. So yeah. Oh, it's 14 now, but it was stuck at 4. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like I think there's issues happening. So as a moderator, I'm noticing some glitches. I have been sending like some messages to a friend of mine who works at YouTube to be like, hey, like what's going on? And basically they're testing stuff. So bear with is the response. Little things like mods. Can mods actually edit their own comments now? Because they couldn't last week. And things like that. So mods couldn't edit themselves or other mods. And that's a little frustrating because if you have a mod that goes off the rails, but like for me, it's like if I have a typo, sometimes I want to remove the comment and fix it. You know what I mean? Like, or if I accidentally hit enter before sometimes I'll tag someone and then hit enter before I've actually written the message. So there's reasons to want to remove a message and go again. But if you've got to get the channel owner to do it. Another mod can't even do it for you. Very frustrating. Oh, you got an ad when you refreshed. Oh, Sal, sorry about that. I forgot about that. I've got YouTube Premium account, so I don't get ads. So I don't even think about that sometimes. Sorry about that. So, and that's the other thing. Different things happen if it's popped in and popped out, and it's what'll happen on a popped out chat may not happen next time you pop out a chat. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre indeed. So with Abby's blanket, right? This is how I've been managing to forge ahead with it. Now that we've worked on it a little bit today, I will, even if we work on it to the end of the stream, which we may not, somebody might come in and go bored with the crocheting, back to something else. But the even if like I will actually take this out to the living room this afternoon, and after my lunch I have a little bit of a break just because, like, I'm going to be honest, it does take a little bit of my mental energy monitoring the chat and the technology and crafting and chatting. There's a few things all at once. My brain needs a little break. It's just like I go into a little zombie mode on Thursday afternoons. I do not book meetings in for Thursday afternoons. I make bad decisions. Bad decisions on a Thursday afternoon. So I've been starting to take this project out into the living room. And what I've been doing is I finish off the ball. So the ball that's here, I'll finish that off. And depending on how much is there, I may even finish off another one. So, because I want to spend a good few hours just sitting. I put something that I've probably watched before on television and I just sit there and let my brain just, revert to normal brain usage rates. So, yeah. So, yeah, Sal's got, yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating, isn't it, Sal? It's very frustrating. Yeah, I don't know why, Freaky. I really don't know why. It's probably like a side effect of them doing something else, because that happens sometimes as well. But yeah. Oh, Rebecca, it's been a while. Abby finished school 2 years ago. She's since done a certificate at TAFE, which I think is what you guys would call a technical school in the US. And now she's working on a Cert 4, which is the step before a diploma in vet nursing. So she's all done, and she's working towards her career. And yeah, she turns 19 soon. So she finished school the year she turned 17, and she's a big girl now. She's a big girl. Yeah. Oh, my question, Freaky, you're saying there's things that you can't do even as a viewer. So can you remove your own post? I thought we worked out that you could remove a post, but you can't edit a post. You've never been able to edit a post. It's either remove it or don't remove it. Yeah, it is a lot of turning. You're right. I had someone comment on something that on a video I'd made, and they're like, you pop a lot, like pop this on here and pop this over here. And I mean, they were being snarky based on the rest of their message. But maybe I use the same word too often in a sentence. It could be. Chintamani, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. Yeah, Freaky, you've never been able to edit your comments on YouTube, or at least not my knowledge. You've either just been able to remove it or leave it. You've never been able to edit it. Or like, sorry, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about in the live chat, not in not comments, like actually after a video's been uploaded or a live chat is over. But I'm talking about within the live chat right now. But yeah, within a live chat, you haven't been able to edit comments. Chintamani says that she has the option to remove her comment on the tablet, but not on the laptop. There you go. So guys, like, I know this is a big ask, but those of you that are noticing these things, if you could grab a screenshot and then tap the little feedback icon for YouTube and let them know. The more people that tell them, the more likely they're to do something about it. So, you know, there's sometimes where it's something that might bother some like professional moderators like myself and a couple of others. But because it only bothers like, you know, a handful of people, it doesn't really get the priority that I think it needs. Whereas if it's bothering you guys as the viewer, then then they're more likely to do something. It sounds bizarre, doesn't it? But yes, the more people it affects, the more likely they will fix it. And they don't know if it affects you if you don't send through feedback. They will just pretend it doesn't affect you. So it is just how it works, the squeaky wheel and all that. We are nearly at the end of the first row of Abby's blanket. I'm very happy with the progress on my top. So I'm glad we got a dice roll for that earlier. Basically, I wanted to finish the yarn of the yarn of ball. Words. I'm going to have coffee. Coffee is finished. Bring over the tea. I'm just going to open the tea up just to see if it's steaming. Nope, it's a good temperature. Excellent. So there we go. I'll put the lid back on so I can drink out of it like a normal human. Have you guys all been seeing like all the Stanley Cup jokes that have been going around the internet? I saw one that was like, I marked myself safe from buying a Stanley Cup this year, but I mean, I did buy a Yeti, so not a Stanley though. But yeah, we are at the end. This is the end of the row as we know it. Alrighty. Whacked the blanket into the microphone. Soz. Sally loves her Yeti water bottle. That is awesome. I'm saving for another Stanley Cup. No. Oh, those words came. Fix that. I'm saving for another Yeti cup. Absolutely love my Yeti. So it's definitely saving for another. And I've realized I'm not so precious about the color. You know, there's a couple of colors that I'm like, I'd prefer not to get those. So like, I don't really want a dark blue one. I don't really want a khaki green. But other than that, I'm like, whatever. I like them all. I do like the smaller cups. I don't like the big one. Like, I don't drink enough coffee to make like a 20-ounce cup of coffee. I think, I mean, it's probably written on there. I can never remember. What size Yeti do I have? Does anyone remember? I don't know. Sally says join the red club. I mean, the red is nice. That's a good red. You know, so that's a really good. And I've been seeing these people have Stanley Cup walls where there is literally like 40 Stanley Cups in all different colors. Like, I just, you know, I know some people love to collect things and I love to collect yarn, so I can't judge, but I don't understand. Like, I suppose I'm like looking at the cost of a Yeti, right? And I just don't, I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 would be great so that when one's in the wash, I can still use another one. Do you know what I mean? Like for that kind of thing. Or if I've got one for coffee, I can put tea in another. so I could be a Yeti goblin. So that would be amazing, wouldn't it? To be able to have my water in a Yeti water bottle and then have my tea in one Yeti and my coffee in another Yeti. And then none of my beverages would get too hot or too cold. My coffee wouldn't go cold because I have to use a coffee cup like a human, not a coffee cup for your coffee. Jeez. Um, but yeah, it would be amazing. But I'm not there. And so I'm like, oh man, I can't get my head around the cost of how much these Yeti walls would be. Do you know what I mean? It's just yeah, not Yeti, Stanley Cup walls. So, oh, yeah, sometimes kits take a while, especially if it's a pre-order. I pre-ordered some fabric one time and it came like 4 months later and I'm like, "Did I even order this?" And then I remembered, "Oh, yeah, I did. It was a pre-order." And yeah, I mean, it delivered it in the time frame it said, but yeah. Oh, you thought I meant Stanley Cup as in ice hockey? No, no, no. I mean like as in the Stanley brand of they've got like handles and cups. Um, Stanley has realized that if they make them in lots of pretty cups, the influencers will build them in drop. Yeah, they'll totally buy them. Um, with my hubby and my powers combined, we could have a Yeti shelf. Yeah, but that's two of you, and you guys are hardcore Yeti. Like, the Yeti is amazing. The Yeti is amazing. Hey, did you I see, I'm like, did I get the idea from a Yeti cup from you, or did you get it from me? Or from somewhere else? Because I remember I asked I was looking for a cup, and I asked on Twitter, and one of my US friends suggested the Yeti, and I didn't think I could get them in Australia, and then I could get one. So I ordered the Yeti, and I was so, so, so glad. Oh, come on. I think Abby just realized that she's called Mum at 11 on a Thursday. Um, Chintami has a couple of cheeky cups, one for iced water and one for another iced drink if I want. Oh, there you go. I've not heard of the cheeky brand. Um, Sal says, I love that the top of the water bottle, in fact, comes apart so you have choices. That's something I love about the Yetis, right? Is I can put, I'm just actually, I might just tighten it. I can put a pile of different lids on this same cup. So I like the hot shot lid. It's so I can seal it. I'm like making sure everything, but I can seal it and it's not going to leak, right? And I like that because I like to be able to throw my drink in my handbag. But there's other options that make it easier to drink it and things like that. Hang on. I'll just, make it easier to drink by actually opening it properly. So yeah. I had them recommended to me and then suggested to you. You bought it first, and then I actually got one too many. Okay, because that was the thing. I thought I'd heard you talking about it, but I didn't know if you had one. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I was very excited by it, and I love them, and I'm saving up for them. That's what I'm kind of using my super chats for right now. So I'm nearly at one. Like next month, I should be able to get one. So when the super chats, like we got an extra couple of super chats last week from some people from my other channel came through. So yeah, but not quite. But I'm tossing up, do I just buy the same one again, but in a different color, or do I buy something with a handle? I don't know. I really do like the hot shot lid, but if it's got a handle, do I need it? I'm less likely to put the one with the handle in my handbag. Maybe I can try one of the other lids. I don't know. I don't know. What's that? Bob says that she uses hers for cold water mostly. Yeah, I've got this one that my cousin, who's practically my sister, she made this one for me. So, because she knows how much I love Star Wars, she did this on a Cricut. And I do love it. But I think in overuse, it's starting to fade. I think I was not supposed to put it in the dishwasher. Whoops. I did not know that. I did not know that. Because yeah, I like my water cups for water. I don't like when my straws are used for something other than water, because you can, no matter how much you clean the straw, like I've got straw cleaners, no matter how much you clean the straw, I feel like I can still taste it. It's probably just mental because, but anyway. Yeah. More Yeti cups will be in my future. Guys, are you ready for something else totally non-craft related that I'm currently obsessed with? Are you ready? Are you sitting down? I got a new air fryer this week, and I love my new air fryer. Like, to the point where my old air fryer I've had for years, right? My new air fryer, I'm trying to find a spot on the bench for it. I'm like, "Oh, I really don't want to just keep pulling it in and out of the cupboard whenever I want to use it. I want to find a spot. I want to make a spot for it. I want to leave it on the bench so that we use it more." At least in summer. We found that, like, last night, because we've only had it for a couple of days, and we're like, "This one feels like it's got more of a fan force than the old one did." But also because it's got, like, a glass window and a light, so like a little oven, so you can actually look in. Do you know, we put taco shells in it, and they Uh, they spun around. We've got video of them. We're all laughing, like small things amuse us in our household. I was like, "Oh my god, Mom, they're moving." And I'm like, "No, they're not." And she's like, "Look, look, look." And I've looked in and they were totally spinning and spinning. And we're all laughing. Like, we had a great time with it. So, it was just it was great. And one of the things that we love about it is for things like tacos, right? It's for things like things like small things where you don't want to just heat the whole damn oven in this house that's already melting because it's the middle of summer, but you want to make tacos, but you want taco shells. You don't want just soft tacos. But then you have to heat the oven, and our oven takes half an hour to preheat. So before it actually even gets to temperature, so you've got to have the darn thing on for a ridiculous amount of time, whereas you can just open up the door, put your thing in, close the door, go beep, 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 but it's like, and it's at temperature within like a minute. And you're just like, okay, that's cool. So instead of having to have the oven on for like 40 minutes to do tacos, we had it on for 4 minutes to do tacos. So, yeah. I know. Okay. I'm just like, I know it's bizarre thing to chat about, but I'm so happy about my new air fryer. Little things make life happy, but now I've got to try and we don't have much bench space, and I'm like, what am I going to pull off the bench so that I can put this on the bench? Like, I've got an old coffee dripulator. I'm like, that's going to go, but it can't actually fit where the coffee dripulator was, because it's down the other end where the dirty dishes and stuff go, and it takes up too much of that space, so it can't go there. But I'm like, what could I put there? Because, like, when we had the kitchen redone, like when we first bought the house, the kitchen had one power point. Well, it had two. It had one for the oven and it had one for the fridge. That was it. So when we got them to redo the kitchen for us, like 15 years ago, whatever it was, we had installed, there's two where the oven plug is now. There's two over near the one end of a bench. There's another two at the other end of the same bench. And then on the opposite bench, because we've got like a galley kitchen. So on the opposite, there's two on one end and two on the other end as well. So we've got like a ton of PowerPoints in there now, because I'm like, dude, how can we not have enough PowerPoints? So it was frustrating. I had to put a double adapter in just so I could have my phone in the kitchen. I was like, that's annoying. I mean, not that we have a phone in the kitchen anymore, but yeah. Oh, Holly loves hers. Yeah, they're great. And I think they do save energy. I mean, I am sure, like a toaster or a kettle, that turning it on and it uses a lot of energy all at once, I am sure that it would totally use a bit of energy. But I don't think it would use 40 minutes of the oven energy that we were using before. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Amused by small things. The first time I bought a new front-loading washing machine, I made a cup of tea and pulled up a chair so I could watch it. Me too. I was like mesmerized by it. Yeah, I love that you love your new toaster. I think it's amazing. Snyder Spindles is in the house. Hello. Air fryers rule. Grilled cheese sandwiches are awesome in there. Just put a toothpick in the bread so it doesn't fly around. Because it's the thing I noticed. My old air fryer, it didn't make things fly around. The new one, the taco shells flew. The taco shells flew. Um, the air fryer cooks chicky nuggies a lot quicker and more efficient than my gas oven. Yeah, I'm thinking they're a good thing. And I managed to get a decent, I mean, I don't know if it was a decent brand. It had really good reviews. Um, it was a brand I hadn't heard of, but the actual, like they'd gotten really solid reviews. And because they were like bringing out a new model, they were running out the old model at like half price. So I managed, was it actually, it was less than, I saved, it was it was 340 down to 140. So I saved 200 on it. So I'm like, you know what? Like our last air fryer was a gift from my good friend who she'd bought this one. And it was like a Kmart brand one. And she'd bought it, but it was just too small for her family. Like they loved the idea, but it was just too small. And we've got only a small family. So um it was an amazing trial. And now we were like, as it was slowly beginning to like, after a couple of good years of hard use, it was actually starting to like not close properly and things like that. So we're like, no, we're replacing this. It's like if the coffee machine dies, we are replacing this. There's some things you're like, oh, I'll get one eventually. No. It had to get done before it died. John O'Brien says, disclaimer, I don't have an air fryer. I have an Instapot with an air fryer lid. Oh, there you go. I saw those. I saw those as well. No, I've got a full air fryer. Um, but I would hazard a guess that even in that air fryer, that a toasted sandwich could do well. It'd be interesting to see. It would be because it would toast the bread and it would make the middle bits go melty, which is what you want. Um, I would test it out. I would do it for science. I'm like, do I have ham and cheese in the fridge? I believe I do. Oh, I've got better than ham and cheese in the fridge. I've got taco mince and cheese in the fridge. Am I the only person who like makes extra taco mince just so that there's some for the next day? Like, I mean, I like it for the next day. Abby loves the air fryer as well. She's a sweet potato chip girl, and so she loved the old one. I don't believe she's tried the new one yet. Um, Love my air fryer. Frozen chips come out so much nicer, and they only take 15 minutes compared to the 30 minutes in the oven plus preheating time, and it does not heat up the whole house. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like if it's in winter, I don't care. I don't mind. I'm like whatever make this end of the house a bit warmer. That's nice. But in in the summer, anything that adds heat to your house is like we're like I'm having I said to my husband we're having cold meat and salad for dinner. And he was like, "Didn't we have that last night?" I'm like, "Yep." It's too hot. John O'Brien says, also with an air fryer, I can cook pork chops from frozen in it. I am going to confess something. I've been using my air fryer now for a couple of years. You ready? I've never cooked meat in it. Like other than, like nuggets or something like that. There was a big company in Australia called Choice where they tested like a pile of air fryers to work out which ones they liked the best to put their star on. And they tested them by doing pork bellies in them. And I'm like, really? You can do a pork belly? And I've seen people talk about how they do a roast chicken in it and stuff like that. I've not done meat in it. I mean, I probably should. Especially if I'm like, dude, I'm going to use this way more because I love this one. The one that we've got has got it's got a much bigger basket and it's more rectangular rather than round. My last one was very round and it was only like sort of, it was about that round. So what is that? Where's a ruler? I'm thinking 8 inches. Yeah, probably 8 or 9 inches round that it was, whereas this other one is more like 12 inches square or it's actually rectangular. So it's a lot bigger and it's the same sort of depth. Like they're both got good depth on them. So what is that? That's 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches. Um, so they both had good depth in their baskets, but yes. I love cooking chicken in mine. Oh, okay. Like as in a roast chicken or like chicken bits or what? Rebecca says, my brother has roasted a whole chicken in his and loved it. See, this is the thing. I need some recipes. Um, I've done pork chops, chicken nuggets, and a burger patty. I've done I get these veggie patties from IKEA. I do those in it. I kind of I'll be honest, we've really used ours mostly for like when one person needs something just heated up. So like when Abby wants chips or when I buy these frozen cinnamon scrolls. So when you want to heat up a cinnamon scroll, sort of things like that. That's kind of really so while I love it, I feel like I've totally underutilized it. But this new one just seems to be more conducive to standard cooking, and because I can check on how things are looking in there, and it's also a lot easier to fit into the dishwasher because of its shape. So, that's always a consideration that we have to take in. Hang on, I'm in the way of the little blip. There we go. Let's just yeah. All right, turning. Frozen salmon, frozen barbecue chicken breast, made tater rounds in our air fryer. Oh, one thing I did this year for Christmas, which was the first time I've ever done it, I actually went hunting for a recipe for doing roast veggies in the air fryer because this was on the old air fryer because I didn't have the new one at Christmas. Because my oven had 3 pork bellies roasting in it, and I couldn't use the oven for the roast veggies because you want your roast veggies a bit crispier. And when I do pork bellies, they're cooked under steam, so they all the meat gets very tender, but the oven steams up a little. Um, so I that and it just took up the whole oven. So I didn't have any room in there for the veggies. So I found this recipe for or instructions. There's probably more instructions than a recipe, which was basically in a big bowl, drop all your veggies in, split your veggies by sort of like soft veggies and hard veggies. So like potatoes and carrots and things like that in one, and your broccoli and your onions and anything like that in another, right? But then a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, herbs, however you want to season it. Turn it over, mix it up in the bowl. Then you sort of lift it out of the bowl to make sure the excess oil, because I didn't use a lot of oil, so it wasn't a biggie, but I used like a tablespoon of oil across like veggies for 12 people. And so then I dropped all the hard veggies in, cooked them for 10 minutes, and then dropped the soft veggies in and cooked it for another 10 minutes, and the veggies came out nearly perfect. Like, I reckon the hard veggies could have done another 5 minutes before I dropped the soft veggies in. The soft veggies were perfect. The hard veggies could have been just a dash longer to make them just a bit crispier, I reckon. But I was so impressed with how easy it was to make roast veggies in this thing. Tater rounds. I don't know what tater rounds are either. I like making bacon in ours, no getting hit with the flying grease. Yeah, I've seen a lot of especially in the US, like people cooking their bacon in the oven. It's never been something I've tried, but I would totally try it in the air fryer. But yeah, and do you need like the special thin streaky bacon, or does it work on the good thick bacon, or like what do you need? I need details. Any details? I'll cut a large roasted potato in eighths and air fry with veggie oil, paprika, garlic powder, salt, and pepper for molly. So nearly like so basically wedges, spicy wedges. I like the idea of that. I bought a cookbook for my air fryer, and I like that in the back it has a table with the temperature and cook times of veggies and various meats. Holly, could you please link your air fryer recipe book over on either Discord or Facebook for me, please? Because I think I need an air fryer recipe book. I think I do. I like the air fryer for chicken wings, onion rings, and wedgies. I love onion rings. I really love onion rings. Do you make your own onion rings, Artog, or do you buy them frozen somewhere? Because if you buy them frozen somewhere, I need the details. Because I love onion rings a lot. Guys, I've realized I didn't have enough for breakfast, okay? And then we started talking in the air fryer, and now my mouth is literally watering. So I'm just going to drink some tea. And like my tummy's going to be like, tea's not going to cut it now. We've been talking about onion rings and roast chickens. Okay. I used my Instapot for the Christmas veggies, then finished in the oven. We had planned to cook them on the barbecue with the meat, but given the barbecue exploded, we had to change that. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes there's you have to change your plans. I mean, usually an exploding oven's not why, but definitely sometimes. Abby is home from work. Excuse me. Vampire is your procurement special in the onion rings department, so you'll have to ask her. Okay. Oh, Vampire. You buy the frozen tempura onion rings in Woolies. Okay. I shop at Woolies. I shop at Woolies. Abby works at Woolies. She's just come home. I'll send her back. Abby, we need tempura onion rings for the air fryer. Everybody on the chat uses their air fryers for so many amazing things. Yeah, it is. That's what we're talking about. How much, One of the guys makes his toasted sandwiches in it. Abby likes to squish hers flat with we use a like a grill, like a Foreman, a George Foreman grill thing where you lid down, cooks both sides at once. Oh, John's down to the final 9 rolls of his sweater sleeve, and then he's on to the collar. Nice. I found a cool pattern that I like the look of. That's a knit pattern that has a collar on it, like it's a t-shirt with a collar. And I think I'm going to try it. I've never knitted or crocheted a collar before. Not like that kind of collar anyway. I've done like the little, band collars, but not. So it's more of a neckband rather than a collar. So, but yeah, I found a spot for it that it really works, except for the problem that it's just there's stuff around it, so it stresses me out. So I'm like, maybe I can move some of that stuff down to the other end where I'm going to move the coffee pot from. Sal says I've cooked sausages. Actually, that's one thing. Mine specifically says not to cook sausages in it. So I don't know why, but it actually specifically, it's like the only thing you can't cook in it is sausages. And it says do not fill it with oil or any other liquid. Like, who's filling their air fryers with oil? Isn't that kind of the point? Like, you don't need to use a ton of oil anyway. Nuggies and chips, awesome. I watched a great top-down raglan knit tutorial. I really want that raglan sweater. I really don't want to knit. Like this green one that I'm working on, that's a top-down raglan knit sweater as well. And like, I love a good top-down raglan knit sweater. You can try it on as you go. You can customize the sleeve sizes. There's so much you can do when you're knitting top-down. I think don't be afraid of the knitting. I mean, I know you can knit and you prefer crochet, but sometimes with the garments, the knitting is at least where I am. I don't want the thickness of a crocheted sweater. I prefer the thickness of a knit sweater, honestly. I barely need more than a long sleeve t-shirt to get through a winter here. You know, sometimes at night where the temperature really drops, if I don't have a blanket on my lap, I'll want my hoodie or a hoodie. And that's about the extent of what I need. And like if I'm going out, I wear a hoodie. I never put the hood up. I like it's basically to me, it's a less daggy cardigan. That's pretty much what it boils down to. I'm not a fan of how cardigans look mostly. Like some of them are beautiful, some of them are not. Um, but I'm not a big fan of how a lot of the cardigans look. I've got one that I really like, but other than that, um, and to me, a hoodie, because my hoodies are like the full zip throughs that I usually leave open, but if it's really cold, I'll close it. And saying that, StreamYard sent me a really nice hoodie that's not a zip one, and I'm gonna wear it like when it's cold, if I can get it off Abby, who's trying to steal it. So she's very keen on the StreamYard hoodie. She's not a fan of StreamYard, but their hoodie is very nice. Artuk says, but now I want wings for lunch, but it's too hot to cook them. Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. What are we at? Let me look at the temperature. I know that it had to have been hot because I woke up and the air conditioning was on. And so for my husband, I've left the air conditioning on. It had to be hot. Yeah, it's 25, feels like 29.8. So an additional 5 degrees because of the humidity. That's awful. I don't want to go outside in that. I won't. I'm not gonna. That's basically it. I'm not going to. Knitspin Girl says, I live in cardigans in winter. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a nice pattern for a nice cardigan for me. I've been looking. I found a couple. My cardigans will probably be in solid colors. I don't like cardigans that are too busy. Yeah. I think, look, John, I do think it would fit you, but I don't think you'll want it. It's a bit sparkly. It's got sparkles. I love the sparkles. Not everybody likes sparkles. Sally says it's currently 27, but meant to reach 33. What are we at time-wise here? Yeah, the humidity is just gross. Vampire is letting you know what you're having for lunch, and it is not wings. Molly says, I've just found an error in my knitting and I have to frog back. Oh, 268 stitches of cable knitting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is green. I know you like green. It's a nice green too. Oh man, Molly. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't distract you with the air fry talk and make you hungry like I am now. I'm like, what can I make in the air fryer for lunch? But I'm not going to. I have taco mince and I will make up my cheeky taco salad. Unless Abby steals all the taco mince before I finish the live stream, which could legit happen. She does that sometimes. I want Abby to make her sweet potato chips in the new air fryer so I can see if it's as good or if it's better, you know. I prefer cardigans that are more like jackets. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I like my cardigan. I'll have to find some photos. Oh, I've just realized my back's getting just a little sore. I'm like, do I really want to stand up? And the answer is no. I'm tired. I don't want to stand up. I'm just gonna press into the sore spot and try and release it. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Oh, you've posted a picture into the Discord. I will I'll check that after the chat because I am very interested in a solid air fry cookbook. Absolutely. Oh, you made the mistake last night. Oh man, I'm so sorry, Molly. Chintami says, I dislike sweaters, much prefer hoodies or cardies that open up at the front. Yeah, because I overheat. So I need to be able to have the option to open it or close it, or, I want the options. I want the options. Knitspin Girl says the cardi I'm currently avoiding knitting has a hood. See, I never actually put the hood up, or very rarely do I actually put the hood up, unless it's a bit raining and I've got to go out to open the gates or something, and I put the hood up just to protect my glasses from getting rain on them. That's why I wear caps a lot of the time. It's not so much about sun protection, which it probably should be, but it's more like if it's raining to keep the rain off my glasses. Game Widow says she likes her woolly dressing gown cardi. See, I probably wouldn't make anything that big because it's so long and drapey and beautiful, but I do not have that kind of patience level for a project, I don't think. Says the lady who took 2.5 years to make a queen blanket. But anyway. Maybe I do have the patience to make it. I don't know. Maybe I do. Knitspin Girl says hoods are great at stopping raindrops from getting on your glasses. Yes, they are. They are excellent for that task. Bub's saying it's 29 here today, and we had a storm yesterday with 50 mils of rain, so it is steamy. Oh yes, we had a little bit of rain this morning, and it's just that, just the right amount of rain where it just makes it humid and gross, but it wasn't enough rain to actually even, keep the ground moist. That kind of rain. Just enough to make it worse. Thanks, rain. Champion. Oh, in other news, so those of you that have been following along that know of the sewage saga that we have here, the council turned up yesterday with their private plumbers who are going to be installing what is hopefully the fix. So cross your fingers that it solves the issue, because we are well over every time there's like a massive rain event worrying about other people's sewage in our yard. It is gross. It's legit gross. Sorry? Very cute. Did you say both your shoes have holes in them? Are you going to buy some new shoes? If you're buying work shoes, you can put them on our card. Just don't be ridiculous. Come here, you can have all the snow you'd like. I'd love to see snow, and I'd love to visit somewhere that has like legit snow, but somewhere that I can sit and look at the snow from inside where I don't have to sit in the snow unless I feel like sitting in the snow. You know what I mean? Like in Australia, for you to be able to go and see the snow, you've actually got to go up a mountain and find a mountain that's got snow. Only in winter, or at least I believe it's only in winter. Do we have anywhere that has snow in summer? I don't think we do. Some places have snow because of altitude and temperatures all year round. I don't think we have any of that here. It's not the patience, it's the determination to get it finished that gets the big things. But I think you might be right. I think you might be right there, Vanfia, because I was pretty determined we were finishing off that queen, even if it took 2.5 years, and it did. I shot a video driving to work Monday after we had a small snowstorm. I meant to post it for you. Oh, I would love to see it. Because, I want to see. And I don't know, it's something I want to experience, but I have to travel a long way to experience it. And in Australia, to experience it, you've got to travel to the really expensive places. It's actually cheaper for me to fly to another country to go to snow than it is in Australia if you want to ski as well. Like if I want Tim and Abby to be able to ski while I just look, it's actually cheaper for us to fly to another country than to go to the ski fields in Australia. It's just seems ridiculous, right? and there's never a quiet time. They're always overrun with people because there's just hardly any places here that get snow. Yeah. My brother has snow in winter in the Blue Mountains. Yep. Yep. But that's winter, right? There's some places in the world that there's snow even when it's not winter. We don't get that here, I don't think. I think it's just too hot. Dad has had snow sparkles in the air in October. Oh, that's nice because your parents are Blue Mountains as well, right? You know what? I don't think Abby noticed that I'm working on her blanket. And if she did notice, she didn't say anything. So I'm just gonna quickly send her a message as well. Hang on. Abby. Abby has this love-hate thing with shopping. Like, she likes to shop. She doesn't like to shop for things that she has to get, like jeans for work, except she doesn't actually have to wear jeans. She can wear whatever black pants she wants, but she refuses to wear anything but jeans because apparently she's not old, so she doesn't want to wear slacks. I'm like, you don't have to wear slacks. There's pants, there's linen pants, there's all sorts of comfortable, lighter things that you could be wearing in the heat of some. Anyway, it's an argument that we have all the time. But at the moment, she can only find black jeans that have holes in them, and she can't wear jeans with holes. So I've just started a fight with her, telling her to also look out for some pants. Hee hee. Pants war. Oh, no, go back. Fix it. Yeah, so this waffle blanket, I didn't think I'd enjoy working on it. When I first started it, I was just like, "Meh, annoying." But now I'm actually like, it's really it's very nice. Like, I very much like it. I don't know if I'd make another. They're very yarn hungry and they take a long time. Like, I don't know how much you guys pay for a Karen cotton cake, but this blanket will take the 20 balls. And Karen cotton cakes here are not inexpensive. So luckily for me, I was basically gifted like 13 of the balls. So, and then I picked up 7 more on sale. But I think they're $9 or $10 a ball. I think that's right. Oh, and you'll be surprised to hear I'm not tight crocheting my sweater. I am surprised, and I'm so happy to hear that, because otherwise, to when you're making garments, you've got to get the gauge. Shannon says, I'm off to bed. I've got work early, positive vibes. I get the sewage fixed for you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate those positive vibes, Shannon. We really hope that this works. The plumber who was here, his doesn't work for the council. He's a private plumber. He seems to think that the fix will work. So I really hope he's right, because we're definitely over it. It is definitely not our favorite part of summer. So, because it means that we can't leave the yard very easily. We have to have 2 pairs of shoes everywhere because it goes down the side of the house, down the driveway. And because of how our house and yard is, the only way in and out of the yard is the driveway gates. We don't even have like a pedestrian gate. So you have to walk on the driveway. So even if we parked out on the street, you still got to walk on the driveway to get in and out. Anyway, I'll just be very happy when this is over. Yes, we have, Rebecca. This is the problem. It's been an ongoing issue and council have refused to repair it. And we've had like, I'm like so emotional about this. We've had like at least 3 private plumbers that we've paid to come and check everything on our property. And there is nothing wrong. There's nothing we're doing to cause it. There's a problem with the council's sewer lines that when there's what's happening is somehow stormwater is getting into the sewer lines. So when we have really heavy rain that lasts a little while, the sewer lines fill with stormwater, which they shouldn't. They shouldn't get stormwater in there. Someone in the area is pumping their stormwater into the sewer line. So someone's got like a down pipe or something, then rather than sending it to the road, to the stormwater drains, they've just put it towards the sewer line because it was probably easier to do. And so this means that we get a lot of additional water in it. And it's been an ongoing problem for years. Like at least, I would say probably 5 years. And it hasn't happened it doesn't happen every time it rains. It doesn't happen every year. It just happens when we have very heavy rain for like an extended, like for longer time. So, it's yes. So you need like a really torrential downpour for it to hit. But we've been getting a bit of torrential rain over the last couple of years. So it's been a problem. So fingers crossed that this solves the issue. Yeah. But yeah, Rebecca, it's like the exact same problem that you probably heard about before. Finally, council were like, oh, wait. It's actually happening to a few of you. And it's not actually because we had council telling us it was our problem about it. Like, it's your problem. It's on your property. It's your problem. Blah, 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 blah. It's your problem. And we were like, fine, then we want to fix it. So we were like paying for plumbers to come out and go through all the pipes of the house and the property. And they're like, there's nothing wrong. I mean, this pipe here could be a bit higher, but that won't be this problem. That's doing something else. And you're just like, oh, really? Like, that's it. Dolores is in the house. Hello. We did. We had to. That's right. When I had the shack, I had to get stepping stones to be able to walk out there because that year was really bad. That was the worst it's ever been. Last year? Year before it was, because last year was 2023. I'm like, oh my God, last year was 2023, not 2022. Okay. I'm not there yet. It's still early January. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so a friend of mine who is a plasterer, he lent us a whole pile of his big long planks that he uses for putting around people's houses. And so we used Bessa bricks to keep them up off the ground, and I had a little pathway to the shack on things. Yeah, that's right, Rebecca. That was the last big time it happened. So it's been a little while since it's been a huge issue, but yes, every now and again, they have to come out and they have to fix it and all sorts of stuff. I mean, council come out every time and clean it up. They send out a crew. They clean out the yard. They do everything that they can. They sterilize it with stuff that's so strong that we can't let the dog out for like 2 days after they've sterilized it because it'll burn the little pads of his feet. So, they do stuff. They just don't try to solve it. They just help. Worst moat ever. Agreed. Absolutely. No, Dolores, what we were saying was the council have actually sent someone out with a solve. Yeah, balance beams that you definitely don't want to fall off of. Oh, 100%. You did not like. I was like, oh man, these need to be wide enough because I do not want to fall down. But no. So council sent someone out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, who's actually going to be installing the fix, or what we're hoping is the fix. We are hoping really hard that it's the fix. So it was some positive news about it. So yeah, fingers are crossed. So hard that it's causing cramps in my hands. Oh my goodness. Vampire, enjoy your lunch, or enjoy making lunch. Yeah, definitely don't want to fall off those balance beams. So Scott, are you gearing up for shows? Scott Snyder is here from Snyder Spindles. Those of you that don't know, I am a massive fan of Scott Spindles. I'm like, oh, am I really a fan? Like, oh, there's just two sitting right here. There's like another one just like right here. You know, like, and that's just within reach. Like, then there's the ones in the basket that I'm not using right now. Like, you know, massive fan of Scott's. If you are looking for a spindle, no matter where you are in the world, Scott ships. But if you're in the US in particular, he is local to you. Oh, I don't know if that link's going to work now, Kelly. I have to. Scott's got a website now rather than his Etsy store, I think. Because Etsy were butt faces. I mean, Etsy are always butt faces, but they were particular butt faces. So Scott's here in the chat. If he's still here, can you do you still have the Etsy store? Or is it all on your own website now? And I think it's just snyderspindles.com. I mean, it does make me sad that it means I no longer get a commission. But anyway, John says, I don't even spin and I have a Snyder spindle. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Aspen says, I'm stepping up from markets to events this year. Oh, nice. Good job. Our next show is on March, so we are working on product now. That is awesome. Oh, that link worked and it went to his website. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Rebecca says, is anyone else frozen? Okay. Okay, so you must be okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that the link works. So that's a positive. Oh, maybe I went in and changed it already because of when I saw the drama, I went and fixed it on my end. Okay. I'm confused, Chintamani. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh spindles. I saw them. I'm trying really hard not to look. And I saw you had the art for the steamboat. It's not Mickey, but you guys know who it is. It's like the precursor to Mickey. That was it Willie the Steamboat Driver or whatever it is called. Aspen Mace is still waiting for the husband to build me a website though. See, I didn't wait. I built my own. I don't wait for other people. That's me. I just don't wait for other people. I just do it myself. I had to learn how to do it. That's why the Fibrific website's not Steamboat Willie. Thank you, Artzag. I knew I had it wrong. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, only mods can add links in the chat. It won't let you add a link. So, yeah. Where was I up to? My brain. Oh, yeah. I had to sit down and watch videos and learn how to do it, and it works ish, mostly. All righty. Flip. All right. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I went in and fixed it when I saw all the drama. Um, Alrighty. Abby just replied. And it was just with a love heart. I was expecting like a whole like, "Meh," but no, it was good. Excuse me. There are Winnie the Pooh spindles. I'm going to have to check those out. My daughter loves Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh is one of the ones that went out of copyright. Disney tried to extend the copyright on some of their IP, but you can only have copyright for so many years. And yeah, it's an interesting way. Aspen says, I want to try YouTube, but cameras are hard. I mean, I don't think so, but it depends on how you set up. Aspen, send me a DM and I can talk you through some, work out where you think cameras are hard and maybe help you out there. But yeah, so Winnie the Pooh and Steamboat Willie are both out of copyright. But in saying that, I'm hearing that Disney is still striking some people for their use of Steamboat Willie. So I think you've got to be cautious about how you're using it, because I think that there's some parts of it that are protected versus others that are not, and you need to really understand which way to go before you do it. Because Disney are hardcore with their copyright protection. Hardcore. Like, do you guys remember the lady that created the adorable Grogu stuffy? That she made this gorgeous design. She got hit hard by Disney, and it was basically she had to pull every mention of it from her website, from everywhere, or they were going to take her to court. And she's just like a lady who just happened to design a thing that was just gorgeous. There you go. The Winnie the Pooh books are public domain, but Disney's version is still copyrighted. I knew there was a way that it was okay, but then there was a way that there wasn't. That makes sense. It's got to make it tricky. So you've got to make sure that you're definitely using the art from the art style from the book, not from Disney cartoons and what have you and movies. Glad that you understand how it works, Scott. Sal says it's good to know. Yeah, it is. It's good. It's interesting how all this stuff works. Like, I'm all for people protecting their intellectual property. Like, they worked on it, it's theirs, protect away. But there are times when I think that a little bit of grace could be nice. So, yeah. And like there's companies out there that have amazingly fantastic IP, and they're more gentle with their fans than Disney. So, yeah. Like, I wonder what a spindle with a 67 Impala would look like. Just saying, because, the Impala itself is probably not copyrighted, but if you put Supernatural on it, it probably is. But in saying that, they're one of the ones that are pretty gentle with their IP. Or like, the anti-possession tattoo. Something like that would look amazing. Actually, you might already have something like that, Scott. I don't know. I'll have to go and look. I wouldn't be surprised if you already had something along those lines. because it's just sort of like a Celtic sun kind of looking thing. You know, it's like my craft is so far over that it's actually I can't see it because the microphone was blocking it. Isn't there some drama with the knit crochet hat from Firefly? Yeah, I thought I remembered seeing something along those lines, but I don't think they won because, like, as in, I'm not sure if the company won because it's basically a candy corn hat. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. Oh, maybe that's what it was. I might have seen the one that you had for yourself rather than the one that was publicly available. That could be it. Especially for small businesses like a market crochet, making a couple of $100 on a Winnie the Pooh teddies is not touching Disney's bottom line. Yeah, yeah. But you know, Disney see that as that was 5 people who could have bought something, you know, from theirs, and they want all the people. So even losing one out to a handmade. But you can buy. There are Disney and Winnie the Pooh. Like I made Abby a piglet. No, was it a piglet? No, no, no. I didn't make it. A friend of mine made Abby a piglet from a Winnie the Pooh book, and I made my nephew a Winnie the Pooh from the Winnie the Pooh book, which was an official and okay pattern. I don't know. I'd have to dig out the book to work out if I was actually allowed to sell the finished things. That's probably where the blurred line is. Probably not allowed to sell the completed items because, you know, if you look at the different copyrights from your different pattern books, some specify that you cannot sell items made from these patterns without explicit permission, and others don't. And so you've got to be cautious around that. Oh yeah, AFL football clubs, they're super nasty about people selling the patterns on Etsy, and they're nasty about people selling the finished items as well, like the blankets with and it's because it's their logos on it. You know, like that's the thing, their logo is on it. So if you just make it in the colors, there's nothing they can do. But the second you put the team name or the logo on it, they're like, "Hello, how are you? Great? Yeah, cool. If you could stop doing that thing, or we're going to send our big collection of football lawyers to your house." Yeah. Which is kind of sad because it's fans who want it. But again, AFL want the fans to buy the official merch. You couldn't even see me do that. Official merch. But yeah, if you make it just in the colors, there's nothing they can really do because the colors are freely available and you just happen to make it in the stripes of the 2 colors of the team. I hear movement in the kitchen. I think it's Tim. Making his lunch. So far, week 1 of Tim working from home has been okay. Don't want to kill him yet. That might be next week. We'll see. We had a discussion about the different lengths of our lunch breaks. Mine's considerably longer than his. So, yeah. Yeah, lols. Lols is right. We've put a dent in this ball of yarn here for Abby's blanket. I think we've put an extra 3 or 4 rows on, maybe 3. I'll find out because I put a marker in because somebody in the chat suggested it. I wish I could remember who it was, but somebody in the chat suggested I put a marker on Abby's blanket so I could show her how much I get done each live. But Abby doesn't care because, like, she doesn't care until the blanket's finished. But I care. It makes me happy to see, oh, look, we did this much. That's so cool. Alrighty. So, who here in the chat, how many have we got? 20. Who here in the chat has got a plan for their crafting for 2024? Over on the Discord, Kerry Randall has got this 24 projects for 2024. And I was like, oh, there's no way I can get 24 projects done. But the more I think about it, the more I think I totes can. I can totes do it. As long as I'm allowed to include finishing off some of the projects from 2023, I can totes do that. I couldn't resist. Started a new knit project, toasty toe slippers, 3 strands of alpaca socks yarn held together. Oh my goodness. They sound delicious and soft and warm. They really do. I like the look of some of the slippers, but I don't know if I don't think I'd wear that. Just because we don't have carpeted floors, so it would be unsafe. I don't wear slippers around socks around the house much. On their own, just because it's a little unsafe. I could easily start 23 projects. Yeah, me too. Me too. Here we go. I could easily start them. Finishing at this sweater in a day or so, still making 2 blankets for the boys. Awesome. There's a plan-ish. Nice. Oh, you're planning to send them off, palming them off onto your dad. Okay. I want to practice knitting. I bought cheap Amazon circular needles. Oh, John, I'm going to tell you something, and you're not going to like it. Oh, you might. I don't know. You may not. When learning how to do something, buying nasty tools to practice on may actually be a disservice to you and your skills. Sometimes buying the more sort of moderate or the more middle of the road, like don't go out and buy expensive ones by any means, but buying something that's got a little bit of quality to it so you can work out if you hate the knitting or if you hate the tools. I thought I hated knitting for a really long time. I really did. I was buying cheap, nasty circulars from the local craft store, and I bought some cheap bamboo needles online because they were super cheap. And I hated knitting. And what it turned out to be was I hated using those tools. When I started knitting with the ChowGoos and the better quality tools, I fell in love with knitting. And it came down to the tools I was using. So I just caution you not to judge whether you hate it based on the knitting or the tools, just in case it's the tools. Artsug says, I don't know if plan is the right word, but I do not have a plan. Okay. Finish the items that should have been done for Christmas, then the projects I want to get done last year and then didn't, and then throw in some last minute things that pop up. I mean, that's a plan-ish. Absolutely. Sal says, no plans, never have plans. Cool. My plan for 2024 is to make it a real business, not just a hobby paying for itself. That is nice. That's a good plan as well. Oh, for sure, buying the clover hooks upgraded my crochet significantly after 10 years of crocheting with cheap hooks. Yes. Agree, Chantel, quality tools make a huge difference. They look, and I hate to say it because I know what it's like. Like when you are learning to do something, you don't want to go out and spend the money because what if you freaking hate it? What if it's something you do get no pleasure out of whatsoever, and then you've spent all this money, like good money on good tools, and you just hate it? And I thought that's how I felt about knitting. I really did. But, I was willing to spend the money on a decent hook. I don't know why I wasn't willing to spend the money on a decent set of needles. But anyway, I definitely recommend that don't totally give up on it until you buy. You don't even have to buy any sets. You can just buy the circular needle required for the project. Like a lot of the brands will let you just buy one fixed circular. You don't have to buy all the sizes. So, I definitely think look into it. Same with spindles. Have a lovely top well. Dislike. Tried a dodgy Turkish and fell in love. Now I have gliders. So yeah, you've got to be open-minded. I put 26 projects on my challenge as my challenge in Ravelry. I don't know what most of them will be yet. Oh, okay. So you've just opened up and saved blank projects so that you fill them out as, oh, I like that idea. I don't want to do that. That would just stress me out. But I like the idea. I'm like, yes, no, definitely not doing that. Because what stresses me out is on my Ravelry queue, if I have more than 2 rows of whips up there, that stresses me out. So I don't want to add more rows just because. Alrighty, guys, I finished the row and I didn't realize, but we've run over and no one told me. Thanks, champions. But I finished the row. We've gotten, where's the other? We got an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We did an additional 4 rows for Abby back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll be happy. And yeah, we put a big dent in this. It is no longer a ball. It is I don't know what that is. A flat. It's a flat. We have a flat of yarn. I looked at the time because you mentioned it. Oh, yeah. Kelly says I have a huge queue even with assigned yarn, but not going to create stress myself. Yeah, I don't want to create stress. I want to create garments. And so garments will take me longer. I know garments will take me longer, and I have to be prepared and allow for the fact that garments will take me longer. Maybe not longer than a blanket. Hopefully not longer than a blanket. All righty, my lovely friends. It has been so awesome to catch up and hang out, and I'll see you here next week. And in the meantime, have an amazing week. If you don't have a plan, maybe try and think of one. Even just like, do you want to finish off something? Even just one thing. It doesn't have to be a big plan. So I will catch you all next time. Be good and keep crafting. Bye now.